Today on the YY Family, Grandma takes Basalt and me back in time, millions of years ago, so that we can see how coal and oil formed. And then my dad takes me for an underwater trip in our bathyscaphe, which is like our own private submarine. And later I go with Mom and Quick and Quack to the desert to check out a really neat cactus plant. When Dad cuts himself, Uncle Micro and Uncle Scopo take me under his skin to see how a scab is formed to heal the cut. And after that, Grandpa Maddox shows me how satellites collect and transmit information.
Come along with me and meet the smartest family in all the town. The YY family. Mom can make it plain to see that what goes up eventually comes down. The YY family. Come and meet the YY family. We got a lot of real know-how. Grandpa knows a lot about flying. Ask him and he'll show you now. Why do airplanes fly?
When I land, I'll tell you why.
Meanwhile, there's a dragon making some kind of a potion in a vat. The YY family. And Grandma's no stranger. She can teach you all the dangers found in that. The YY family. Max is a mechanical marvel. Why? I know copy kind of guy. Maybe he can show you the answer now. If you want to take a look inside. Everybody's in a lather.
Rushing, wondering what's the matter.
Every person here's a cry.
Rushes to the baby side.
What's the deal? What could it be?
Just on the YY family.
Have you ever wondered why the salty oceans, lightning, thunder, what the earth is like down under? Why there's wind and snow and rain? Let Eartha and Basalt explain.
What happened?
A power outage, and I can't find a single flashlight. Luckily, I've still got my old oil lamp. Basalt, would you please get a bag of coal and my old stove from the cellar? We need a good fire to keep us warm. Coal and oil are fuels, dear. When they burn, they give off heat or light. Coal and oil both formed millions of years ago.
It looks like a black rock.
Ah, but this black rock is very special. I'll show you.
Where are we, Grandma?
Well, we're 250 million years in the past. Now, as you can see, at that time, there were rainforests everywhere.
These are the biggest trees I've ever seen.
Little by little, all the prehistoric forests and plants disappeared.
What happened to them?
Well, as the climate changed, they slowly rotted and disintegrated in the muddy water. In time, the water evaporated, and what was left of the plants was covered by layers and layers of mud. As the layers built up, the pressure changed the rotting plants into a compact layer called peat. Over the course of thousands of years, other materials covered the peat, which sank under their weight and settled in the ground. By the time the coal had sunk to about 180 feet underground, it had hardened into a type of coal my stove uses.
And what about oil, Grandma?
Well, not exactly. The ingredients are a little different, and oil isn't solid like coal. It's a thick brown liquid. But because both coal and oil formed from the remains of living things, they're referred to as fossil fuels. Back to our time, please, Basalt. Oil isn't mined, Victor. It's pumped. When oil is located, a drill pipe digs down into the ground, and then the oil is pumped up to the surface. The oil is refined, which means that all the impurities are removed from it. It's turned into heating oil for our homes, gas for our cars, tar for our roads, and even plastic.
You mean my toys are made from oil?
Well, you might say that.
What on earth?
We were drilling for oil!
Well, you found our water main.
What's going on? I was taking a shower and suddenly there was no water. Hey! That's cold.
Now you can finish your shower, Grandma. Grandpa.
How does it do this? How does it do that? Max is the one with the electronic knack. Machines are his thing, so don't go berserk. Max on the job. You'll find out how they work.
Unidentified object off starboard bow. All hands, prepare for evasive action.
Victor, that aquarium isn't a toy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dad. I was acting out this really cool story Mom read me last night.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. Hey, that's one of my favorites, too.
Dad, how do submarines work?
Victor, I've got a little surprise for you. Our own private submarine.
It doesn't look like the pictures in the book.
That book was written a long time ago. This is called a bathyscaphe. It's built for underwater exploration, so it's slower than a submarine. But it uses the same principles. Fasten your seatbelt, and away we go!
We're diving!
Our hull has special tanks called ballast tanks. When they're empty, the bathyscaphe is lighter than the water, so it floats. And when the tanks are filled with water,
We dive! How do we get back up?
piece of cake! To rise, compressed air is blown into the ballast tanks, which drives the water out. Once the ballast tanks are empty, the bathyscaphe is lighter.
And we float to the surface?
Yep! Now, since our bathyscaphe is designed for exploration, let's go exploring!
Yippee!
As we dive, the weight of the water presses down on the submarine. A submarine's curved shape helps it withstand the pressure. Curved surfaces withstand pressure better than flat surfaces.
How do you steer this thing?
There are fins on either side called hydroplanes. They deflect the flow of the water. If I tilt them down,
Our bathyscaphe moves down?
right. And if I tilt them up, we rise. And the rudder turns us left or right. Hey, we're picking up something on the sonar.
Sonar?
Yeah, we use sonar to find things underwater that we might not see otherwise. The sonar emits sound waves, which bounce back from solid objects. The sonar picks up the echoes and uses them to give us an image of something really big.
Dad, look!
A whale?
It looks like it's stuck in those rocks.
Maybe we can help.
Hey, Dad, look, its body is rounded, like our bathyscaphe. I bet it's to withstand the water pressure.
Good for you, Victor. Some submarines are actually modeled after the shape of a whale. Uh-oh.
It looks like saving our friend used up the battery.
Maybe we can get him to return the favor. Well, Victor, any more questions about submarines?
Yeah. Did they all come with their own whale?
Very funny.
Hey, the questions that you have are not too serious. The animals and plants are not so mysterious, so have no fear. Everything will be made clear. Vanilla, Quake, and Quack are here.
Well, Victor, are you enjoying our camping trip to the desert?
Oh, yeah. It is very interesting.
It's also very hot. Whose idea was this anyway?
Well, since it's a bad idea, it must have been yours.
My idea was
Yeah,
your
your
idea.
idea. Oh, come on,
why-
Settle down, you two. The sun's going down, so it'll cool off soon. Let's get back to camp. Vanilla to Max, we're on our way back.
10-4. Hey, we'll meet you halfway and save you a long, hot walk.
Boy, I wish I could be a cactus. The heat doesn't seem to bother them.
That's because they've adapted to living in the desert.
Really? How do they survive?
First of all, cacti are able to store up water, which is very important in an area where there's very little rain. They even save their perspiration. Most plants perspire through their leaves to get rid of excess water.
Look at these big leaves. Whoa, this one must sweat like a pig.
Actually, desert plants use their leaves to retain as much water as possible. Take a look.
I remember. You showed me this on the plants in your greenhouse. Those holes are stomas.
Stomata, or stoma if there's only one. That's where some of the water goes out. During the day, they remain shut.
The leaves look fatter now.
This type of plant has leaves that expand to store more water.
Whoa, that's a pretty smart plant. But cacti don't have any leaves.
Sure they do. Take a look.
Those look like needles to me.
They're actually leaves, but very small. That's why cacti don't perspire very much.
Then where do they store their water?
In their stem. 3/4 of a cactus is made up of water.
3/4 water.
Can we drink the water from a cactus?
It's possible.
Ah, that's good enough for me.
Quack, watch out!
Yow!
I guess the needles also protect the cactus.
Now he tells me.
That's right, Victor. The desert is full of animals who would like nothing better than to drink the water inside the cactus. And you should also know that some species of cactus are poisonous. The sun is setting.
Good riddance.
I wouldn't be so sure. In the desert, nights get very cold.
What about the cactus? Doesn't it get cold?
They have very thick skin to protect them from the cold.
Sounds like they're ready for just about anything. Heat, cold, and thirst.
Right again, Victor. They're almost indestructible. Oh, and here's our ride.
I thought after a day in the desert, you'd like some fruit juice.
Ah, ladies first.
I thought you were liberated. Me first. Ah, delicious.
What is it?
Cactus juice. I made it myself.
You have seen nothing like this. With these two guys you can't miss. You wonder what's inside you. These are just the guys to guide you. Come on, let's go. Let's go, let's go. These guys are in the know. Micro and Scopo.
Boy, Victor, I can almost taste the cherry pie your mom's gonna make from these. Take this, sport. I'm on my way down.
Oh no, Max!
There's no time to lose. Do not worry, Max. Everything will be fine. We are trained professionals.
Guys, relax. Dad just fell in a basket of cherries.
Cherries? Well, I guess we can cancel that CAT scan. Not so fast, Micro. I think I see a scratch.
Aw, heck. I got one of those from when I fell the other day.
Scopo, our work here is done. This scratch will heal in no time.
How does a scratch heal?
Let's go see.
The things I go through for pie.
Hey, Uncle Micro. These look like underground rivers.
Those are tiny little blood vessels running under the skin. If you bump something hard enough, these vessels can break and bleed under the skin.
Oh, yeah, I get it. A bruise.
Now, if you scratch yourself, you break the skin as well. And you know what happens then?
Yeah, because when I fell, there was a little bit of blood.
Well, when you get a scratch or a cut, you have to be careful. Because now there's a way for bacteria or germs to get into your body. Or they can cause an infection, and that can keep the scratch from healing. Now, Victor, let's go see how a scratch heals. Up there, you can see the damage to the blood vessel.
It looks like a pipe with a hole in it.
That's essentially what it is. All right, freeze! Ah,
Don't shoot! I'm a cartoon character.
Wow. That is a white corpuscle. Its job is to get rid of germs that manage to get into your body.
All right, freeze!
Yep, but it can only handle so many germs. That's why the body seals the scratch, to keep them out.
Hi, this stuff is all sticky.
What are those things?
Those threads are produced by the blood. When you cut yourself, they form a sort of a net, in which the red blood cells and the platelets get caught. The trapped blood dries up and forms a scab, which then covers the cut. That's called coagulation.
I think I've been coagulated.
And underneath the scab, your skin cells are multiplying to fill in the scratch. And when they finish, the scab is no longer needed and falls off.
So this little mark is gonna go away?
Oh yeah, just give it a few days, but don't pick it.
Micro, I seem to be slightly stuck. Do you think you could help me?
Why do I get the feeling we've already done this?
Who has all the answers about the sun and moon and stars? That would be Zygo and Magic. Who can tell us all about the atmosphere and Mars? That would be Zygo and Magic. Pick a spot in outer space, they've been all around the place. Zygo and Magic, here they come.
Good shot, Zygo.
My turn! Here goes!
Wow! It looks like we've just launched a new satellite.
What's a satellite?
Imagine this is a planet. Well, a satellite is any object that orbits around a planet.
There are natural satellites, like our moon, which revolves around the Earth. Or Io, one of the moons that orbits Jupiter. There are also artificial satellites put into orbit by man.
What are they for?
Well, I have to launch a little satellite of my own. So let's go check him out up close, huh?
You two go ahead. I have some, things to take care of.
We use satellites to collect and transmit all sorts of information. Satellites can see one half of the Earth in one glance. And when they look into space, they have a clearer view of the stars than anyone can get on Earth. Satellites transmit their findings back to the surface, where people receive and process the information.
What kind of information?
Well, each satellite is designed for a particular purpose. For instance, this one is a weather satellite.
Oh, is this what the satellite is seeing?
That's right, Victor. Those are satellite pictures. They show cloud formations and wind movements around the Earth. They'll be used to figure out the weather forecast.
Can it see what happens under the clouds?
No, but there are satellites that can. They're designed to monitor the ground, like the one we're about to put into orbit.
Can we watch the whole world now?
Not quite, but we can take a good close look at the area right below us. Satellites are capable of taking very detailed pictures from thousands of miles out in space.
Well, that's pretty sharp, all right.
They're used to draw up detailed maps, follow animal migrations, or observe crops and forests.
Hey, Grandpa, what's that really weird-looking satellite?
It isn't a satellite, but what on earth is it?
Ground control to Major Tom.
Let's not take any chances.
I think you lost him, Grandpa. Hey, where are we going?
22,500 miles from the Earth. I'm taking you to see a communication satellite.
What does it do?
It relays television broadcasts, radio signals, and telephone communications.
Well, how come it's so far away?
Because at this distance, a satellite orbits at the same speed that the Earth turns. So it remains over the same part of the Earth all the time. That's called a geostationary satellite. If it didn't keep pace with the Earth, we'd have to wait for the satellite to pass above us again to carry on phone conversations.
Then I guess those geostationary satellites are important. Grandpa! Grandpa! There's that weird satellite again!
Thought you got rid of me, didn't you? Well, I have to launch my own geostationary satellite. to help me find all the bones I buried in the backyard.
Well, Victor, what'd you learn today?
Oh, tons of neat stuff. I learned that a big drill digs under the ground so that the oil can be pumped to the surface. I learned that a submarine is steered by adjusting the fins on either side of it. And I also learned that a cactus plant has its own private water supply. I learned that the job of white corpuscles is to get rid of the germs that sneak into our bodies. And I learned that satellites are capable of taking very detailed pictures from thousands of miles out in space.
Sounds like a pretty big day.
It was, but I still have plenty of questions left for next time.